Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fat for Weight Loss channel. My name is Aaron and today I'm showing you how to make keto rum balls. So I know that Christmas is coming up. I've got a whole bunch of friends coming around for a barbecue this weekend, so I thought I'd make some rum balls. A little bit of brandy, get things going, so let's get started. So today this recipe is really easy. It only contains a few different ingredients. You don't need to bake anything. All you need to do is put it in the fridge. So it's really easy. All you do is you start off with a glass bowl like this. Now you can use just normal cocoa powder, or you can use Dutch processed cocoa powder. So it depends whether you want a little bit of a lighter taste or a bit more of a dark chocolate taste. I'm gonna go with the dark chocolate taste, only because I'm a little bit low on this one. So you need 1/4 cup of this. Now this dark Dutch processed cocoa powder is a little bit less acidic as well, which is great if you're doing something sweet, so you don't have to balance out the acidic value too much with extra sweetness. So 1/4 cup goes in there like that. Now what you need is 1/4 cup of almond flour. You could use almond meal. This is almond meal. You can use almond flour. It doesn't really matter too much as long as it's 1/4 cup. That goes in there. Now what we're doing is we're putting all of the dry ingredients together. So we're using some almond flour, the Dutch cocoa powder. We've also got some desiccated coconut here. So we need about 1/2 cup of the desiccated coconut, and that's gonna go in there like that. This one's super easy, 1/2 cup of desiccated coconut. Now all of these ingredients you can find at your local supermarket. There's nothing too crazy here. You want 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. Now if you don't have coconut flour, you could definitely just use some more desiccated coconut. This isn't really super necessary, but it definitely helps bind the ingredients together and lets it hold its shape. Okay, so the recipe actually calls for 2 tablespoons of erythritol, but today I'm going to be using stevia. Now stevia and erythritol, totally okay to use and switch out either or, whether you want to use one or the other. I find stevia works a little bit well with something that you don't heat up. So because it's a liquid sweetener, you can use it and it's not going to taste granularly. It's not going to crunch in your mouth. So this one's great. I'm going to put 18 drops in there. So you don't want it to be too sweet, but you just want it to be enough. So you're going to mix that around. So that's going to turn a really nice dark chocolate color. Now what we need is 1/4 cup of coconut oil and 2 tablespoons of cream. Now I just had the coconut oil sitting in the fridge for a little while so that it gets a little bit more solid. Now the reason why you do that is because you want to be able to form balls from these keto rum balls. So I've got 1/4 cup of coconut oil that goes in there like that. Then I've got 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. Now this is thickened cream. If you have pure cream here in Australia, that will work as well. Or if you have double cream, that would work exactly the same way. But this helps bind the ingredients together and make it a little bit thicker. The cream is really important in this recipe, so don't skimp on that one. We're going to mix that together. So it's really simple. This recipe is by far one of the most simple Christmas recipes you're going to make. All of the ingredients just bind together really, really well. The secret ingredient to this recipe is a little bit of alcohol. Now, to make it kid-friendly, you could use a little bit of rum extract, or you could even put a little bit of peppermint extract in there for like a mint type flavor. But today I'm going to be using brandy. I have this bottle of brandy here. It's Christmas time. Use a little bit of brandy, get that really nice sweet taste in there. So we're going to put 2 shots in there, so 60 mils or 2 ounces. That's going to go in there with all of the ingredients. Now, because I've got a whole bunch of friends coming around, brandy's going to be okay. But if the friends had kids, I would probably use rum extract. It tastes exactly the same. You've got the same great rum flavor, you just don't have the alcohol. So this mixes really well together now because you've added a fair amount of liquid in there. Now what I find with this recipe is it does actually get sometimes a little bit too wet. Now the reason why it might get too wet is because your coconut oil is a little bit too liquid, or you've added just a little bit too much fluid to the actual mixture. And you can actually put this back in the fridge and then roll balls, and that would be much, much easier. But what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to add a little bit more desiccated coconut in there. So I'm just going to add another little bit to make sure that the mixture can roll really easily. So you just mix that together, and it's just going to sort of clump into little little sections in your bowl. So that's what it looks like there. It's a really great, easy recipe to do. But you could even get the kids involved in this one. Now, anyone can eat these. These aren't just some keto crazy recipe. This is a fantastic rum ball for anyone who wants to eat rum balls. So I've got a little bit of desiccated coconut here that I've pre-done. I'm just gonna add a little bit more to this plate because you want it nice and covered so that when you actually put the balls out, you roll them in and it's going to taste fantastic. Now, I already have a bunch of TV style, I already have a bunch of rum balls made here already. Now, these are the rum balls and they just look fantastic. Once you put them in the fridge, they go quite hard and they become really nice and chewy. So I'm going to put that on the table there as well. So what you want to do is you want to get about, I guess, about a tablespoon's worth, and you want to just push it together in your hands. Now it'll be a little bit too delicate to actually roll into a proper ball. You just want to kind of squish it together. Now, maybe because I added a little bit more desiccated coconut, these might be a little bit more delicate, so that's totally up to you. But with the desiccated coconut, you just roll it in there, and that's going to give it a really nice coating on the outside, and so they don't stick together. So the desiccated coconut, you just put them on this little plate here. You can put them in a container and you can keep them in the fridge. You could keep these for as long as you want because there's really not that many perishable ingredients in there. The cream, depending on how fresh your cream is, will depend on how long you can keep these out for. So you could really get the kids involved with this one. They would absolutely love this recipe. Mom, can I roll this in the ball? Now, Keto Christmas wouldn't be complete without a great keto rum ball recipe. So if you're going around to a friend's place for Christmas, if you're going around to your family's place for Christmas and you're not sure if they're going to have any keto friendly desserts or if they're not going to have any keto friendly ingredients at all, the best way to do it is to take a whole bunch of desserts with you, like these rum balls, so that you know that you're going to have something that you can eat. And everyone's going to love this recipe too. These are keto recipes that everyone will actually eat. So this recipe is in the description of this video. So if you do want to get the exact measurements or if you missed any of the measurements that I was doing here, best to head over to the website to grab those. So I'm just rolling these in there. It's really simple. There's no rocket science involved here. This is going to make about 9 balls, and the 9 balls will be about tablespoon size, and they're definitely enough to have just one. And you know, if you've got 9 balls, then you know you can feed the family, and if anyone wants leftovers, then they can definitely have another one. So there's room for seconds. Again, if you don't have brandy, you can use whiskey, you can use rum. Ideally, you would probably want to use rum, but today I'm using brandy because it's Christmas. And you could use rum extract again if you've got the kids to make it kids friendly. So these are the rum balls here. I've just finished rolling out the rest of the rum balls, covered them in desiccated coconut. So the ultimate test is let's give them a try. Let's see what the brandy tastes like with all of these ingredients. Now I know what they taste like. They taste fantastic, but let's give this a shot. These are the ones that have just come out of the fridge. They've been sitting there in there for about 20 minutes, but you can keep them in there for as long as you want. The only perishable ingredient you've got in this recipe is the cream. So however long your cream lasts will be however long this recipe lasts in the fridge. So you could definitely make this 2, 3, 4 days in advance. I'm making this one 2 days in advance, and I'm going to show you what it looks like from the inside. Oh man, that is really good. So you can see there that they have a wonderful texture. Because of the cream and because of the coconut, the desiccated coconut in there, they just have a really nice sort of ball flavor. Now, if you didn't want to add rum extract at all, these would be perfect, just chocolate fat bombs. And you know, they're fantastic by themselves. You could even add a little bit of peppermint extract. I've got a few other ingredients here. You could add a little bit of vanilla extract in there to make them really nice. Vanilla will enhance the flavor of the cocoa in there. And again, you could also add some coffee in there to make these little espresso truffles. You don't have to use instant coffee. You could use a shot of coffee or 2 shots of coffee, as much liquid as you would with the brandy. You know, this recipe is really versatile. You could do anything you want with this recipe. And that's the great thing about Christmas, is that you can do really anything and everyone's still going to love it. So I hope you love this recipe, and I hope the people in your life love this recipe as well. Hopefully the people that are coming this weekend will love this recipe too. So again, if you love recipes like this, make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button. And if you want it any more Christmas related recipes, put them in the comments below. What recipe would you like me to make for you on Christmas? Put it in the comments below and I'll definitely be reading those when they come out. Again, thank you so much, and I will be seeing you in the next video. It's so good. These are like legit rumbles. There's nothing keto about this.